Hello, everybody. This is Kirk Miller, and welcome to Art 196. This is our introduction to designing web graphics class. I want to make sure that everybody knows how to gain access to the files that they need. Make sure that you know how to upload files so that I can grade them and have access to them as I need them, that sort of thing. So today is just an orientation. I started this before and I paused the video and I forgot to turn it back on. So here we go again. I hope that I remember everything, and I will replace this video, the old one, with this one. So let's get going with this. So this is my personal website, and this is pretty much the final kind of website that you should be able to design. But what I want to focus on first is making sure that you have access to Google Drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Gmail account, which is kirkmillerart@gmail.com. That's kirkmillerart@gmail.com. So what I want you to do is to email me at that address, and in the subject, I want you to put your name, Art 196, in Google Drive. You may see that in some of these that have already emailed me. There's Dan Breland's, from Dan Breland, and it says D. Breland, Art 196, Google Drive. Okay, and the reason that I need that is that I'm going to share with you a folder on Google Drive so that you can upload your files. And anytime I have you email me, you will email me at this address. Again, that's kirkmillerart@gmail.com. So to look at the Gmail, if you haven't, or Google Drive, if you haven't used that before, there's a little button in the upper right-hand corner for Google apps. And when you click on it, it's Google Drive right here. Now, I've already logged into Google Drive here, and you can see that on my Google Drive, I have a ton of folders from my other classes and previous semesters for all my classes. The one that pertains to all of you is the one down here. It's Art 196, fall of 2020. So if I double click on that, you'll see that I have a folder in here. I already created, or one of my students, Sevilla Fana, already created a folder for them. And that I also have a folder for all of the lessons that you can download. So to get access to this folder, what you need to do when you email me, and I'll show you how this works now, is that I'll take Dan's, for example. What I will do is I'm going to select his email. I go up to the name, and then I right click on here, and I copy his address. And then I go back to Google Drive, like so. And I'm going to go in my Google Drive, and then I right click on the folder here, and I select that I want to share it. And now what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste his name in here and his email address and send him an invitation to join. And when he joins, then what he will do is what I have done over here already, is that when we go in here, what you're going to do is you're going to right click on here and create a new folder. And once you've created a new folder, you're going to name it. Name it as I've named mine, and A. Villafana's named theirs. That you're going to have the first initial of your first name, lowercase, and then your last name. So that when you upload any files, all you have to do is put them in your own specific folder that is shared with me and everybody else. Now, it's really, if you've never used Google Drive before, it's very easy to share a file. I have an image on my desktop, and it can be located anywhere on your computer. But all I have to do is click and drag that file and drop it on top of my folder. And when I double click on it, you can see that that image, that JPEG image, is located inside the folder. And that's it. We're done. That can be for JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs. It can be animations, MP4 files. It can be Photoshop files, Illustrator files, Dreamweaver files. It really doesn't matter. You're only restricted on the file size and the total number of storage space that Google provides for you for free. And they do provide 15 gigabytes of free storage space. And then if you want to remove the file, I can either download it, or in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just click the little trash can, and I'm going to remove it, and it's gone. And that's it. Okay? So I want to make sure that you all do that today so that we're in communication with one another. That's the first thing. Then the next thing that I want to do is I want to go to my website here, and we're going to go to Kirk's classes, and we're going to go to weekly syllabi. We'll go ahead and go there and make sure that you have access to everything. Now, you do need Adobe Photoshop, and you do need Adobe Dreamweaver. Now, when you subscribe to Adobe, you should have access to both of those applications. If you're not sure about this class or any other class that requires Adobe, then what you can do is click on this link here, and it will take you to Adobe's website, and you can download a free trial version for 7 days. They don't give you much time, but that's as good as it gets. If you are interested in subscribing to the Adobe software, then what you're going to do is you're going to click on collegebuys.org. And when you do that, it takes you to this website, and you'll notice as I scroll down that we have access purchase prices for students and for faculty, staff, and colleges. When you click on students, it's going to ask, what state are you in? And I select California, and I click submit. Then I'm given options here for what software, hardware I want to purchase through collegebuys.org. And you can purchase, laptops here. You can purchase iPhones from here. You can purchase all sorts of things. Microsoft Office. But what we're interested in for this class is the Adobe Creative Cloud. So when I click on that link, it takes me here. And there are two ways that you can subscribe here to the Adobe Suite. You can buy, or you can license, I should say, a 6-month license for $40, or you can license a 12-month license for $80. So if you don't plan on taking any more classes using any of the Adobe software, then the 6-month license should be just fine. If you do plan on taking classes in the spring, then go ahead and sign up for the $80. And this is the best price that you will get anywhere, bar none. Okay, so you will have to do that. So that's where we have, you'll need the software. The other thing that you'll need for the class is a computer. Do not use a Chromebook. I don't remember saying that in the last lecture, but because for any of the Adobe software, you need to have an internal hard drive, and Chromebooks do not have an internal hard drive. But regarding the textbook that you will need, and we will be doing lessons from the textbook, I use an older version. And that older version is right here. It's linked to the Amazon account. So I'm going to go ahead and click on, if I click on this here, it's going to take me to Amazon.com. And it's the Dreamweaver CC 2017 version. They do have new softbound, paperback versions in stock. I think the best price, though, would be to get a used one or the Kindle version. And that's what we need for this class, okay? Now, the reason I'm using an older version is that starting in 2018, 19, and 20, they made it a requirement to use Photoshop in conjunction with Dreamweaver. And unless you have experience with Photoshop, it would be very difficult for you to complete the class. So that's one reason that I chose to stick with the older version of Classroom in a Book. The second reason is that I think it is superior in many ways by the fact that the website that you learn how to design using the 2017 version is a responsive website. It's one that uses Bootstrap templates, and you also build from scratch a Bootstrap responsive website. What that means is that the website that you build will be able to be viewed not only on a large screen, but if it's viewed as on a tablet or a smartphone, it will adapt to the size of those screens automatically, and it will look really, really good. It won't be awkward at all. And that takes some extra work that just unfortunately is not covered in the later editions of the textbook. They do a nice job of integrating Photoshop with Dreamweaver. It really would be an advantage, but they have eliminated the responsive component. So that's something that I want to stick to here, okay? So the other thing that you'll need, that we will be meeting every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And you just have to click on one of these links. Either one will work, and will take you, actually this one will work, take you to the webinar that I'll be offering to give live demonstrations as I'm doing now. And as soon as the demonstration is completed, it will be recorded, provided I don't mess up again, and it will be published on YouTube shortly thereafter. So it'll have closed captioning, and you'll be able to review it at your leisure and rewind and play it again and again. Okay. So some additional things that we should know about this. I have some additional links over to the left. Okay, so in addition to the Adobe, and you should also be aware of lynda.com. They're good, they're very useful for online tutorials. If you haven't created a lynda.com account yet, you should, and you can do that by using the LA County Library.org. That should be on my orientation video. And if not, talk to me about it, and I will show you how to get a free account through the LA County Library.org. And you can gain access to lynda.com through them. I just showed you collegebuys.org, a couple of other discounted software companies are Creation Engine, Journey Ed, and NoVeg. You will need Zoom for this class. And then in addition to that, some of the other software that we will be using in addition to Dreamweaver to create other websites will be Wix.com. I will show you my Wix website in a few moments. We will also be using the Mobirise. Wix.com, by the way, happens to be an online service that you can subscribe to, or you can use their free version, and we're going to use it for free. And you'll be able to create your own website online, and it will be immediately published, and you can edit it online as well. It's a very easy, intuitive approach to web design. I don't think you get the best results, but it looks presentable. It's okay. Then the next website that we will be creating will be using Mobirise. That is a free, I'll go ahead and click on this now. Okay, it's a website that you can go to and download a free version for either the PC or the Mac. If you wish to buy a more robust version, it's a little over $100 to have access to it all. But it is very intuitive. It's a drag and drop. You create your website offline, and then you need to upload those files and publish it to a web host. So that will be the second website that you create. Now to publish the Mobirise website and the one that you'll be creating in Dreamweaver, you'll need a web host. And what we're going to be doing is using 000webhost.com. You're free to subscribe or to have any other host of your choice, but it will cost you. This one will be for free. So we will be using 000webhost for that. In addition to that, what we will be doing is what we're going to do this Thursday is I will be showing you how to properly save images for the web, and that's covered in lesson 10. If you don't have the textbook this week, that won't be the end of the world. You should have it by next week in order to be able to do the tutorials, because those, in addition to publishing your websites, will be published and will be emailed to me so that I can see the link, show that you have done them and you understand how to publish them. So to look at examples of what I have done, to give you an idea of the different kinds of websites that we'll be doing, I'm going to show you the following here. So the first one that you'll be doing is created in Wix. And this is an online source. And the one that I've done here is sort of presentable. It's not my favorite. It's not as good as the one that I designed or used bootstrap templates and then modified them to customize them to my taste. But it's presentable. And it's what you will be doing with your websites is very similar. It will be a minimum of a 4, maybe 5-page website. And the reason that I originally designed this class was for graphic designers, for illustrators, for artists, for anybody in art and design, to have an online presence, which I discovered or realized many years ago that would become a necessity. That no longer was it the case that you would carry your portfolio around and share it with people to get jobs, that you have to have an online presence. And so that's what we're doing here. So this is typical. You have at least a minimum of 3, 4, 5 pages, and you'll have your splash page. You'll have an about page, which will, in some cases, you'll have an artist statement, a little bit biography, a little, a paragraph or two about yourself. Whether you choose to become an illustrator, designer, or not, you will be applying for a job at some time in your life. And this would be a good place to have your resume. You can have multiple resumes, multiple websites, depending on the kind of job that you're applying to. And then again, for those of you who are in the design field, you would have a portfolio page to show samples of your work. And then the last thing that you would need would be a contact page so that the person here would be able to get in touch with you. So this is the Wix website. This is the one that we're doing first. So as we're working on lessons in the textbook in Dreamweaver, you will be working on this website on your own. It is pretty intuitive. We'll get you started with it in the next week or so. I'll help you sign up for it and to get started with it, and then you'll be on your own. After that, when that website is done and we continue to work on the lessons, then you're going to do a Mobirise website. Again, Mobirise is an offline website builder. It's all drag and drop. It's very intuitive. And again, you just drag the elements in that you want and drop them and edit the text, change the colors, change the fonts as needed, and incorporate your own personal images. The hardest part of both of these websites so far, Wix and Mobirise, is the preparation of your images. And that's why I'm starting with that, with lesson 10, to show you how to do that. Now, this Mobirise website, instead of separate pages, is one continuous page. And that's a different approach to websites. So if I click on here, it just scrolls down to a different section of the page, a different tag. Okay, so that is a legitimate approach to websites too. If you need a very simple, quick, and dirty website, but it's clean and presentable and will serve its purpose, this is a good way to go. So this is just sliding and scrolling up and down on a single page rather than taking you to separate individual HTML pages. I like Mobirise a lot for very simple, quick web designs. It can take you maybe, if you have all of your images prepared, you can create an entire website in a short afternoon. So that will be the second website that you create. The third one will be similar to what I'm doing here. It won't be identical, but if you wish, you can have drop-down menus. Again, I have many more than 4 or 5 pages, but you'll have, as I did with the others, you'll start with a splash page. You'll have an about page. You'll have a resume page. And then I have more than one portfolio pages. The portfolio pages that we will be creating, if you don't have a portfolio, not to worry, you can have a slideshow. Maybe you have a dog or cat, or you like to travel and you want to show slides of where you've been. This would be a perfect way of displaying that. So what I'm doing here is that we're going to use what is called Wow Slider, which is one of many different kinds of slideshows that you can create. It's also created by the same people who make Mobirise. It is for free. You'll be able to download it. You'll be able to insert your own images and save them, upload them, and publish them, and you'll be set to go. I like it because I can pause. I can play it forwards or backwards. I can play it automatically again, or I can go up here, and if I want to look at a specific image, I can, and I can pause that and move off of it and view it quite nicely. So this will be another part of what we do. As we're working on the lessons, and I'll show you that now, we'll be in Dreamweaver. So those are the 3 principal websites. But this is a good example of what Dreamweaver looks like, okay? This is a good example of one of the finished lessons that you'll be doing. You'll see that we have drop-down menus here. We have our menu bar at the top. We have our header. We have our left aside, our right aside, and our main content. And all of these websites, if I click here and I drag it over to the left and it shrinks to simulate a smaller screen size, this would be for a tablet, you'll notice that it automatically reconfigures to fit that format. And then the last one here is that if it has to be reduced all the way to the smallest format for a smartphone, then it automatically configures to it and it looks just fine. And that for several years now has been the direction that web design has gone, and that's why I'm choosing to stick with that. Okay. So that's where we're at so far. What else was I going to cover? So I am going to pause and I will remember to turn it back on. So I think I have covered everything that I wanted to cover from before. I'm going to make sure that this is published, and I will replace the earlier one with this one to make sure for those of you who weren't able to attend the live webinar that you have access to this video. Many of you, if you have previous experience with HTML or CSS, will probably be able to do the lessons on your own. But for those of you for whom it's new, you'll probably need to attend some of the live webinars, or at the very least watch the videos that I'm providing for you now, so that they give you some insight into some of the pitfalls and some of the awkwardness of designing from the ground up. I hope to see everybody Thursday. And we'll begin, as I said, with Photoshop. And we're going to start learning how to optimize images for the web. So that's all I have for now. And if I've forgotten anything, I will probably repeat it on Thursday if there's anything, and then I will include it in Thursday's demonstration. But I think that's it for now. I think everybody should be set to go. The most important thing for today, though, is that you get your software, that you get, order the textbook, no matter whether it's used, new, whatever, make sure it's the CC 2017 version, and that you send me an email at kirkmillerart@gmail.com. And again, make sure that you put in the subject your name, Art196, Google Drive, so that I know who is it, who I'm supposed to add to the to Google Drive, what class it's for, and what the purpose of the email is. Okay, that's probably the most important thing out of everything. So that guarantees that I know that you are participating. And then throughout the semester, you will either upload files to Google Drive, or you will simply, as you publish your website, you'll simply email me a link, and I will be able to click on that link and view it in a browser. And then we'll be good to go. So that should do it. See everybody Thursday, and I hope this corrects the problem that I goofed before. So I think I'm not going to pause in the future. So anyway, we'll go ahead and I'll pause the